Hi, and welcome to Beer with Geeks, where two geeks geek out with beer. I'm Tim, and with me, as always, is my man who loves being a lord from the shadows. It's Frank. How are you today?
At last we will have revenge.
That's a pretty good Peter Serafinowicz.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah, it was pretty
Thank you.
good.
I've been working on it for 25 years.
Absolutely. He has two lines in the whole movie, and you're like, I'm that he will forever be somebody I talk like. Yes,
Yeah,
of
that's it.
course. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Frank, how are you today?
I'm doing pretty well. My friend, it is good to see you. How are you?
I'm also doing pretty well. It's good to see you too. We are here today to be friends, Star Wars friends, which is always a good day, Frank, when we're Star Wars friends. And Star Wars friends tell each other what they're drinking
Oh, yeah.
before we're Star Wars friends. So, what are you drinking
I'm
today?
drinking calf. I'm drinking
Oh, good
calf.
for
No,
you.
yeah.
Calf is good. Are you drinking stout calf?
A calf stout. No, I am drinking today I'm having a Corona. I'm having the
King of
Corona.
beers. Yeah.
Sure, yes.
Yeah.
The it is a la cerveza más fina. So
Hmm.
the finest beer. So
Corona means crown. So, like,
yeah, that's true. This
right.
is true.
Yeah.
You're right.
So,
Yes,
yeah. Yeah.
yes. So it is in that sense the king of beers.
The
But yeah,
king of beers.
nothing especially exciting tonight for me. But you know what? I like I like a cerveza every now and then.
Yeah.
And it is Cinco de Mayo, and that's my real reason as we record this.
What a
That
good
I
reason.
just snatched victory from the jaws of defeat, and that's the reason.
That is a really excellent reason. Good for you. Did you put the lime, or did you have a lime, or no?
I don't have a lime. I don't. I'm limeless.
That's
I'm
okay.
not in the limelight.
Well, that's okay. What are you gonna
Yeah.
do,
Eh.
Frank? I know that today, like you said, is Cinco de Mayo, so I'm drinking a Czech amber lager.
Mm.
Yeah, that was all I had going for me today. This is from Buttonwoods Brewery. This is their Czech amber lager
Ah.
with a Nokia. Check this out.
Ah.
The on the sides. Buttonwood Brewery is in Providence, Rhode Island.
Nice.
They're only about 10 years old, the brewery itself. Haven't been around
Oh,
for
nice.
a long time. It's good. It's nice and refreshing. It's pretty light for the Czech for pretty light for the Czech amber.
Uh-huh.
It's not too hoppy. It's just the kind of the right amount for a 55-degree night. You know what I mean?
Ah, love it.
Yeah,
A good spring evening beer.
exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
Because
The
in the
kind of
Czech
thing.
Republic, it's always spring.
Is it though? In, I mean, in the New Republic, yes, but in the Empire,
I don't think so. I was
ugh.
watching, the latest season of Shrinking with my wife last
Oh,
night.
yeah, so
I
good.
love Shrinking, and I was laughing drinking this Czech one because one of the characters was trying to prove that he is not old,
Yeah.
like a classic storyline if there ever was one, and
Yes.
someone was like, "You still call it Czechoslovakia?"
Yes.
I was like, "Why? What happened?"
Why? What happened?
It was so good.
Was it Derek?
No, it's not Derek. It's the lawyer friend there. What's his
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. I don't remember his name,
Henry?
but
Yeah, no, I don't know.
yeah,
I can't remember his name.
Brian.
Brian, that's it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was Brian, and it's just it's a great show. If you haven't watched Shrinking, do yourself a favor and watch Shrinking, especially
It's
if you
incredible.
were, say, a Ted Lasso fan.
Yes,
That's basically the same creators as Ted
it
Lasso.
is. Yeah.
And so it is well worth your time and attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just recently learned that evidently they had planned a 3-season arc for this show, and they were going to be like, "Yeah, we're done." But Apple was like, "Please, please." And so they're like, "All right, fine, we'll continue it." But like we told that is the arc that they wanted to tell. They just wrapped it up, and knowing that they were already greenlit for more seasons, they're like, "Well, we will transition into telling some other stories." I think that's why some of the characters have been leaving or
Sure.
going
Yeah.
elsewhere, is so they can focus on some different characters.
That's
Maybe some of the same characters, but some new ones as well.
I actually I knew it was a 3 season, like,
Mhm.
this is the story they wanted to tell, we told it. I did not know they were coming back for more.
They are. They're apparently
Fascinating.
coming back for more.
Yeah.
They're basically the way Ted Lasso ended and is now coming back anyway.
Sure.
they just sort of short circuited that, and they were like, "Let's just why don't you do the same thing you're doing with Ted Lasso, which is like tell a slightly different story that um that overlaps with the one you already told in some ways.
That's good.
Why don't you go ahead and do that without the like 5-year gap in between?"
Yeah.
And they were like, "Sure, we'll just
Wow, has
do
it been that long? Really?
something
For
like
Ted
that." Yeah,
Lasso?
I
Wow.
think so. Close.
Man, I love that show. Gotta
Oh,
watch that one again. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm happy it's coming back. I will.
Yes, me too. Me too. I was skeptical about it at first, but I'm feeling better about it these days. So, anyway, tangent into Ted Lasso and Shrinking, but yeah, so good.
They're so good.
Highly recommend.
Yeah.
Also really good is Maul Shadow Lord.
Frank, it's so good.
It's so
Can't
good, dude.
I can't even we have not been talking about it because you were not watching, like, week to week.
No, I wasn't for a while, and then I caught up, last week and, just in time to watch the finale on May the 4th, so
Yeah, it's so good. I just I have not felt this way about Star Wars being so good in a very long time.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's been very good Star Wars, don't get me wrong. Like, Andor is excellent.
Yes.
Uh, The Mandalorian is excellent. You know, like, those are all good, but this is Star Wars.
Yeah, man.
Like, it's all the Star Wars, but it's still fresh and new, but familiar, and it's not Star Wars doing Star Wars. See The Mandalorian,
Right.
for in certain
Right.
seasons. Not all seasons. I went back, to start, like, it's not always Star Wars doing Star Wars,
Mhm.
especially early on. But here, the Maul Shadow Lord is in the Star Wars universe being fresh, and it's just and familiar at the same time. It's inviting new viewers and giving something to old viewers at the same time. I'm gonna
Mhm.
say more nice things about it, but let's talk. Can we, like, just do spoilers?
Let's
Yeah,
yeah,
now that we
let's
know
just
that our recommendation is strong. Wait, before we do spoilers, Frank, I forgot our segment.
Oh my gosh, yes! Lois and Clark, we gotta do it.
Lois and Clark, we gotta do it. Lois and Clark, the Superman novel by CJ Cherry. Um, and
What does CJ have in store for us today?
okay. Uh, oh yes, that's right. Clark asked if he was going to dinner with Lois. He was wise
Yes.
enough not to ask, and here we go. But maybe not wise enough to look thoroughly delighted. Clark, you have to know how lucky you are. This place is absolutely booked solid, just absolutely impossible to get a reservation. We'll need to leave my apartment at 6. At 6, the latest. Don't tell me you have another engagement. Great, Clark said, and told himself he meant it. Dinner and theater in London or a trattoria in Rome had always been in reach for him personally. The world's best theaters, the most exclusive restaurants, he could always go globe hopping, but he only rarely indulged this kind of whim. For one thing, because a reporter's salary didn't extend to meals at Alfredo's, and for another, because he'd grown up with the harvest hand breakfasts and suppers back home, and American country cooking was what he truly favored. There was a roadside cafe on old Route 66 that served up chili cheeseburgers to die for. But Metropolis's latest and trendiest restaurants were Lois's personal passion before they dated. And by what she said and what he'd heard of the place, reservations were hard to come by. It was a quest, an acquisition, a moment of glamour she aspired to. And as surely as he loved the ground she stood on, they were going to go, tonight, to a tiny, exclusive, and expensive place called the 12 Tables, aptly named since that was the number of tables, which was the rave of Metropolis. He suspected the chairs were going to be frail, the premises crowded, the flowers edible, and the portions more like a sample than a satisfaction. But she was going to be happy, and a man in love rated that goal above all other considerations. She was the kind of woman who could enjoy that Route 66 cheeseburger, too. She loved him. She knew everything about him. Everything. And she loved him anyway. And there wasn't a thing wrong with the world. The 12 tables it was. He memorized the appointment. Her apartment at 6. Early dinner. Now, Frank, I don't know who considers 6 o'clock an early supper, but I'm getting ready for bed.
Well, I have
That's
to
just
say,
yeah.
CJ CJ has such a vivid prose style. It's
She
very
does.
descriptive.
Does. It's hard to
Yeah.
say. Yeah. I don't know. I'm
I
feeling
suspect she.
she. Yeah.
I suspect she.
Mhm.
What was the name? CJ what?
CJ Cherry, but Cherry is spelled with like cherry with an H at the end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm using my one lookup for this
For
because
CJ Cherry and
for
not from
CJ
Maul's.
Cherry,
Got
not
it.
from Maul. That's right.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yep. Yep. That's what your lookup is for.
Perfect. Perfect.
CJ Cherry. Yes. Carolyn Janice Cherry.
Knew it.
Mhm.
Knew it.
So, there you go.
All good. Anyway,
Age 83.
wow, really?
Mhm.
Wow, she writes so well for her age. No, I'm just kidding.
Well,
Said no, this
she
book
did
came
write it
out.
30 years ago.
Yep. Yep. I know. I know it. I know it. Let me see. This would have been come on, publication page. Publication page.
Publication page, don't let me down.
1996.
Ah, I was gonna guess 97.
30
92.
years ago. Exactly.
30 years ago, exactly. Yeah.
Mhm.
Cool.
Anyway,
Cool.
Frank, speaking
Cool.
of things that
Cool.
happened almost
Do you
30
really
years
hate
ago
that you
that
can remember things from 30 years ago? Do you hate that? Because I hate that.
yes, I
Yeah.
do hate
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Cool. Anyway, Maul.
Speaking of things that happened almost 30 years ago, Darth Maul was introduced to the world 27 years ago, right?
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
and we've had this love relationship with him ever since. What's
Yeah.
wild is taking a character that has almost no speaking lines, "I lost, we will have revenge," and "Yes, my master." Okay,
Mhm.
great, and here we are, and then here he is frontlining his own show after being on several other shows, previous to this.
Where
It's
he played significant roles,
oh,
on those
yeah.
shows too, right? Like, he had significant arcs, on Clone Wars and Rebels.
Yep. What I find rather incredible about Maul is that he's a character. Well, we know he's doomed to fail,
Mm.
right? Because we know his story ends with a very, for him, lackluster fight with Obi-Wan Kenobi in the deserts of Tatooine. Everything builds to this moment, and then here you go, and you lost one more time. That boulder, he's like the Wile E. Coyote of Star Wars characters. He just
Oh,
can't quite get there.
yeah.
And so but he's still quite a compelling watch, which is which I find incredibly wild. Even the 2 inquisitors that are after him, Crow and Martok? Yeah, is it
I think Merrick.
Merrick, okay. Um, but either way, we also know they're doomed to fail too, in some respects. Uh, Merrick is on Ahsoka, that's when we
Yes.
first introduced that character, still around,
Mhm.
I can't remember what
Yep.
happened, and then but Crow was defeated by Ahsoka during Tales of the Jedi, right?
Right. Right. Exactly.
That was like a one and done introduction,
Yes.
but I think what I found fascinating about taking those 2 characters who seemingly do continue to fail, or we know their vague endpoints, is that they're great foils for Maul, like, because Maul like, he's so cool and he's so this and so that, but, like, let's not forget that he, like, lost to a Padawan, right?
True.
I mean, it was Obi-Wan, granted, it's like the king of all Padawans, you know,
But still.
but still, he lost to still a learner, as he was a learner himself, and then
Mhm.
his hubris has just never really faded, I guess, and ebbed, and that's like but, like, this show is like it, like, takes him down a couple of pegs where we think that he can do anything except that he always fails, and like, and then then when you finally get him up against a couple of Inquisitors, he's obviously great because he can take both of them at the same time and survive, but not well enough to, like, flat out win.
Yeah.
In the end, he's kind of small potatoes. And, like, he's not Vader, like,
Right.
like we said, like, Vader's almost bored fighting him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't speak a single word, Vader,
No,
the entire time
no,
he's on screen. He's
totally beneath him.
yeah. It's beneath him. He's like, "I shouldn't even have to be here."
Mhm.
I was supposed to be on Hoth today,
Right,
taking
I
a
wasn't
vacation, but
I wasn't supposed to be here today.
exactly, thank you.
Like, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So, I, I just think that's great, but, like, to basically make a show about a loser and but he's still somehow so cool and watchable and still has some kind of deep impact on the Star Wars universe. I'm here for it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Something I really enjoyed about this show and really appreciated about this show was it actually really flips the, anti-hero thing on its head. Like, it doesn't do the typical anti-hero tale where, or the typical anti-hero POV, where, like, you want they want you to root for him because you wanna be that badass or whatever, right?
Mhm.
But the thing about Maul is you're not rooting for him because you wanna be like him. At least I hope not. But, like, he is a he is a bad guy, but he's a bad guy whose motives you understand.
He's
And
Michael
then
Corleone.
yeah, very much, very much.
Yeah.
And then there are the worst guys, right? That's how
Like what?
Sam Witwer has been describing it. It's a show about bad guys and worse guys,
Mhm.
instead of bad guys and good guys, and I think that's a really good like, there's no pretense that Maul is a good guy or the protagonist in any way, but you're still kind of rooting for him, in a way. I mean, if only because he's the title character. Um, so it's a very, very, I like that perspective and that change. Like I very much am the kind of guy who like likes to see good guys be good, but sometimes it is kind of nice to see like good guys being good, but also like bad guys being bad. And not needing to pretend like that he's more sympathetic than he really is.
I agree. It's a show about it's a show about Maul is a character who makes a Faustian deal, right? He makes the
Mhm.
deal with the devil and it backfires because he made the deal with the devil,
Right.
Darth Sidious. So then what his whole thing is saying that, like, you gotta break out of the shackles of that, but then he just redoes the same thing over again to other people over
Right.
and over and over again. He just makes his own Faustian bargains, like, it's like, "What happened to me is terrible, so I'm gonna do that to you as well, but I'm not gonna see it as something terrible."
Yeah. Like that's I've been thinking about that too. Like him trying to get Devin as his apprentice is exactly what he's trying to get revenge on Sidious
Correct.
for.
Well, so, like, he
So
says to Devin very early in episode 2 or 3 where he's like, "You have been, basically, like, brainwashed by the Jedi. You grew up only knowing what they taught you, and you have to break out of the shackles of that thing." But, like, Maul, you wanna take
really,
a
really,
second.
Maul,
Yeah,
really, you don't
tell us
say.
more tell us more about how you only have been taught one worldview and how you've been stuck in that worldview and how you just continue to be stuck in that view without breaking out, but telling other people to bring out. He's the world's biggest hypocrite. And he doesn't see it, which is why he continually fails because he's not introspective enough to understand. He thinks he is. He
Right,
pretends he
right.
is. The
He
way he
thinks he's
speaks is. And so, but he's
he thinks
so.
he's he thinks he's so evolved and so sophisticated.
Yeah, because like even though the way he speaks and holds himself, but he's not. He's sadly an abused kid
Yes.
who grew up into an adult who is now going to abuse
Yep,
somebody else.
yep,
Yeah,
yep.
instead of
That's
breaking out
exactly
of
it.
that
The hurt
cycle
people,
of hate.
the trauma like cycle, continuing and like hurt people type of thing.
Right. Mhm.
Yeah. So like in that regard, it's a very serious, very serious themes that the show touches on and deals with. Um, but it's still, I think that's one of the great things that Star Wars can do, like that it can go there, and at the same time be an adventure show. Um,
Right. Yep. It's there just enough for you to understand character motivations, but it's
Yeah.
not there to preach at you. It's not about what we're talking about necessarily. Star Wars is, for better or for worse, a plot-driven story,
It is.
right? Plot
It is.
matters first, or it should, and then
Yep.
character, and then theme, and then symbol, and so on and so on and so on.
Yeah.
But it gives you just enough to to it gives you just enough to think how complex these characters being fun on an adventure can be.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It gives you just enough of the character and almost leaves enough for you to, like, fill in the blanks with your imagination, and that's maybe one of the great things about, you know, the period after the original trilogy before the prequels, that there was so much that people just had filled in with their imagination. And
Mhm.
even between the prequels and the sequel trilogy, like that whole time, and before the Clone Wars show began, like, we didn't really know what there were big gaps in between, like, the films. There were things like what happened to Maul. You think he just went down the shaft and that's it, he was gone, but it turns out there was all this rich other story to be told. Um, I definitely lost my train of thought there, but I stand by everything I said.
It's okay. I'm
Yeah,
I'm with you. I kinda knew what you were putting down even though the train left the station, and
yeah, yeah.
I did not have a ticket. But either
Eh,
way,
well,
saw it go over there.
there it is.
Let's talk about Devin,
Yes,
for a second, because Devin and,
Daki.
Master Daki, thank you. Daki the Dinosaur. I knew he was,
Daki the Dinosaur.
like, modeled after a dinosaur, apparently. That was, like, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I mean, it shows. Yeah,
part of the charm, but, I I think the show was very smart because it looks early on in that you're like, "Oh, well, obviously, she's just gonna be his apprentice because she's dissatisfied."
sure.
But it takes a whole season for you to learn that it's not because she's dissatisfied.
Yeah.
That's only a part of it. She has to be angry, right? She has to be afraid, right? And that's like because fear is the path to the dark side. Fear
Yes.
leads to anger, anger leads to
Anger
hate.
leads to hate.
So, like, she starts in a world in which she's afraid because of Order 66, and she gets to the point at the end of the season where she is angry,
Yep,
right?
yep.
And even to the point of hatred, right? And so, but you also know that's going to end in tragedy because
Mhm.
he's like, I'll teach you to train you. I'm gonna go after Darth Sidious did this. But to her, he's an unknown quantity. Vader's
Mhm.
the person that she wants to go after. Like, you can
Mhm.
feel it. And that's not gonna go well either.
Right.
So I think I think that um I think that the show sets up doomed sidekicks very well.
It
Like, it
does,
sets up
doesn't it?
characters just enough to be like, they are here to propel you forward. Like, Maul's whole camaraderie of characters gets it, um, because they need to propel him to a place of desperation, right? And so,
Mhm.
like, you have to get to the place where, like, "And you're alone again."
Mhm, mhm,
Where you
mhm.
were before because that boulder's gonna come rolling back down the hill at you every time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, what about, Captain Lawson and his
Oh,
son?
Captain Lawson.
And 2
I
boots.
and 2 boots. I didn't recognize him without the boots or the red arm. Um, such a funny.
Thank you.
I was really wondering, is the 2 boots thing, is that a nickname or is that his real name? And then it turned out his name was TB0T. I'm sorry, 2B0T.
Yep.
I'm like, "Oh, that's clever. Okay, so we go from, like, 2 bot to 2 boots. Alright, I see it, I see it." And then they gave him boots and cute.
It's cute.
Anyway, Lawson, I think I really liked him as he was look, I mean, his name is literally Lawson,
Son of the law. Right.
son of the law,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
It's very clear, like, who he is.
Yep.
They're right there with it as on the nose as Nicodemus. Just boom, right there.
Yep.
So they tell you they telegraph right there who he is. But he lives up to it, and he is, good guy being good guy trying to do the right thing. He wants to. He's a good cop. He's a good detective. He wants to do the right thing by his son. Um, I am not convinced he's gone.
He's so not gone.
Yeah, I don't
So
think he's
not gone.
gone.
Listen,
Uh,
look, in a show, if I may, this was my only qualm with the show.
hmm,
In a show where Nicodemus, who we could also call Narcodemus if you wanted to be a little bit more on the nose, um,
nice.
right? You could see the blaster bolts through him,
Hmm,
right? But then and stormtroopers get taken out with one blaster here, one blaster there, whatever. He gets shot twice and just keeps walking, and that
mhm.
happened to some other another character too. I can't remember who, and I was like, "That's very
I think
inconsistent."
it one of the other Zabraks?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. Yeah, right, until the end. Yeah, when he, like, dove off the side with
Yes,
the
exactly. Yes.
um,
I clocked that too.
yeah, and I was like, "Wow, that's like, what is that?" Like,
You know what I noticed about both of those? They got shot in the shoulder
uh,
in both those cases, so it was, like,
okay,
more of like a flesh wound,
sure.
whereas I guess the stormtroopers are getting more, like, direct hits to the heart or
I'll
something.
take it. Yeah, I mean, we know their armor means absolutely nothing.
Absolutely
It
nothing.
is for show
Yeah.
and nothing more.
It's
Um,
3D printed. That's it.
yeah,
That's
yeah, your thick wool sweater has a better chance of stopping a blaster bolt than stormtrooper armor.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Put
just
put put that money into a nice Fair Isle sweater. It'll
Mhm. Yeah, you'll be fine.
yeah,
Yeah, Mont
it'll serve you
Calamari
right.
make really nice ones. You could,
Mhm,
like, throw
mhm.
that on. Yeah, that was the only thing that but I guess if it was shoulder, I will accept it. It just felt inconsistent. But listen, if
I
a
agree.
character gets shot, but you don't see him fall and he runs into the mist, well, that's I'm gonna live to see another day if I've ever seen it before.
I wanna remind you that this show is named after someone who we watched get chopped in half.
Correct. Well done. Well said. Now, but here's with that. I think so his son, whose name I cannot remember, um,
Yeah, I don't remember.
a
Done
hmm,
starts with an E, maybe? I don't know.
I'll use my
It's
look.
like a very normal name too.
Yes, it is.
It's not even like a Star Wars name. It's
It's
like
like,
Ethan or something.
yeah, it's like, I can't even think of a normal name right
Yeah, I'm like,
yeah,
it's like Blake? Is it Blake?
Brander.
Bra
No. No, that's whack.
No, Brander is
Brander's the Captain Lawson.
please, Brander was my father.
Rock, Cabriz, Scorn, Officer Wade, Rook, Karis, Luty, Two Boots, Devin, Maul. Why can't I find you?
It might be Blake.
Brander, Rook, Riley. It's Riley.
Riley, that's it. That's it.
It is Riley, and it is a very, very normal name.
It's a little too earthy for me, honestly. Like, as much
Riley.
as we have Luke and stuff and,
And we have
real
Luke
names.
and Leia and Han, the very Earth names.
I mean, Han, not so much,
Yeah,
but
sure, but Luke and
but
Leia,
Luke and Leia, sure, especially
yeah.
Luke, I think. But, like, so sure, yes, we do have those, but, Riley just feels like you know what? It feels very American specifically,
Oh,
and I
sure,
think that's what takes me out of it, is that doesn't feel like Luke goes back to antiquity, right? Like,
sure.
um,
But his last name is Lawson. That doesn't feel
I mean, that's also very on the nose, yeah.
yeah, so I'm gonna roll with it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Eugenics is a new world, we don't know what their culture is.
It's true, yes.
It's the Blade Runner world.
It is, very much. It's Coruscant, but make it Blade Runner.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
But, so anyway, like, Riley's a good kid. He's obviously got feelings for Devin, right? And so but she's gonna be in a place of hate. Now he's now with Maul in kind of this weird precarious situation,
Mhm.
thinking his dad is dead. So we're gonna watch like I feel like we're gonna watch his descent as well,
Mhm.
only for Lawson to return. And does Riley recover from that? Because if you notice, Riley I really appreciated this, that he wasn't using blaster bolts, he was using the stun set.
Yes, I noticed that, yes.
Yeah, I love that, like, he's a good kid. He's like, "I'm just not immediately gonna kill a bunch of stormtroopers, I'm just gonna
Right.
stun them, and everything will be okay." Which begs the question, why don't we do that more? Like like,
Truly, yeah.
you can do that. I think it's
Yeah.
not as immediate. I think you have to, like, let it charge or whatever, right? Because you don't
Sure, yeah,
never
yeah,
see
yeah, I
the
think you're right.
stuns keep they never they're not ever always flying, but, I don't know, I just, like, watch that, like, so we're gonna watch the descent of Devin and Riley,
That's
but, like,
interesting,
but Riley's gonna have somebody that could pull him back, but not Devin,
but Devin won't.
which
I
will put
that's
them at odds too.
because I was gonna say, I wonder if it's more maybe it's both. I wonder if it's more of a, uh, they go their separate ways, like, she turns to the dark side and he tries to cling to hope or, the light side to some to even not being a force user, you know what I mean?
Right, yep,
Um, like, he tries to cling to hope, and she just goes with despair and anger and hate. It could go that way. It could be the kind of thing where, yeah, like, he has someone to pull him back, so he's like, "It's okay," and she's, like, already too far gone.
right, which already maybe would make her even more resentful
Right,
in some way because she doesn't have that,
right.
because her whole world has collapsed around her. You can't blame her
Mhm.
in some ways.
Mhm,
Um,
mhm.
well, it would be I'm not sure, but, I think I had a thought earlier about it today, and I you know what I mean? I didn't write it down, so therefore I
So
lost
it's
it,
gone.
but
Yeah.
I'm sure it was profound.
Wow, I feel moved just thinking about that.
I thought you would.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. What about kinda almost like tactile, painting, the, like, paint style of the back? Because there was actually, like, they were, like, pretty sure they were actually painting the backdrops, and
They
then
may have been actual, like, matte
that
paintings.
I haven't because I did see this something where, like, Star Wars is, kinda built on the tactile, like, you want it to feel
Yeah.
real, and so but also created at the same time, like,
Uh-huh.
it's not real, but it is at the same time. I got that from this in a big way.
Sure.
Very beautiful, great lighting.
They very good lighting. The CG, think about when you first saw Clone Wars, right? Which is the introduction of that general animation style
Mhm.
to Star Wars, right? We're still sort of in a Clone Wars influenced animation style.
Sure.
It's evolved, but it's still sort of in the same family, right?
Mhm.
That's the first time we saw it back in like '07. And think about how, they talk about like the hair looked like helmets of hair and everything. And now it looks almost photorealistic sometimes.
Yep.
It's amazing how far they have come in almost 20 years of like iterating on that style. It's phenomenal. And I love that they still work in like there was some practical stuff in there. Like when we saw Maul's flashback to
Mhm.
uh to the stuff
With Sidious and his
with Sidious and with Savage
Savage.
Opress and a
Yep.
lot of that stuff, they actually projected it onto a smoke screen and filmed that to
Oh,
give it
cool.
the smoky effect. Like, they they were at there that's an actual practical, like, effect in an
Awesome.
animated piece. Like, that's I just yeah, I love that they did that.
I said it's Sam Witwer was I watched an interview with him, and he was talking about early on how Dave Filoni came in and was like, "Alright, we have to be better." Like, and
Mm.
that was kind of like his and everyone was like, "Well, we're already good."
Yeah.
Like, it's already like, "We're already good." He's like, "We are. We're already good, and we're gonna be better."
Mhm.
Like, and
Mm.
I was like, "And it worked." Like, 'cause it really went back to that they were not resting on their laurels, like, there was a
Yeah.
really innovative way of doing things here. But even in the story, in the animation, like, the sound effects, whatever, right across the board, they went for it and told a
Mhm.
really good story that is not over yet.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The score too was very Star Wars.
Very Star
Very.
There was I think it was episode 9, I think, there was a bit where the trumpets where the brass was going.
Yes. Oh,
And it
that's exactly what I'm thinking of when I say
yeah,
that too. That
and
is exactly yes.
yeah, made me so happy. Just
Yeah.
yeah. And not that, like, other scores from other, Star Wars pieces haven't been good or anything like that, but
Sure.
this just particularly felt like it had Star Wars
Yeah.
DNA in it.
Very much. Very John Williams was, in the room, spiritually. Yeah, for sure. For sure. It's so really that kind of applies to the whole show. Like it feels like Star Wars. It feels like everything is like, oh, that's a familiar thing. The trumpets making that like fanfare sound, or oh, the 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 light the fight choreography, the lightsaber battles, like the
Incredible. Incredible lightsaber core. It felt, like when we watched season 7 of the Clone Wars, which was also one of those things where you went, "Wow, Star Wars is back, baby." Uh,
yeah.
yeah, and you just watched them fight, and you were like, "This is it. This is what I, like, have always wanted." And here we are. Or this is kind of like how I felt as a kid watching The Phantom Menace, or Revenge of the Sith or whatever.
Mm,
I'm not gonna count Attack of the Clones because truthfully, that fight choreography is not great.
eh,
It just doesn't is not equal to the first and third part of the prequel trilogy.
yeah.
Um, but it was just incredible to watch some like, it go even further in animation. Just the amount of mapping and storyboarding that it took to flow from this to that, to that, to that, to that, to that, without you getting lost as to what was happening. It was just really, really an impressive amount of thought and animation went into this. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I can't say better things about it. Like, there's so much Star Wars content out there, like, it's the to be like, "Oh, this is in my top 3 Star Wars of all time now." I just can't do it. There's just too I can't do it, mom. There's just too much Star Wars out there. Like, I yeah,
Ugh.
good stuff. It's impossible, and so but as
It is.
far as, even Star Wars animation, there's so much good stuff out there now. But I would just say that it just makes me really happy to watch something that clearly people loved making, that,
Yes.
they were able to prove that Star Wars still has a lot of legs, and not just gross metal but, like, real, like,
Yeah.
legs to run on still.
Mhm, mhm.
It's just, really nice.
It's it's obviously very, there's a whole creative team, um, behind this, and it obviously goes far beyond Dave Filoni, but it is very much in the Filoni sort of tradition and style, and I I imagine sort of like the production sort of system that he has, established in some of his prior shows has carried into this one. And it just bodes well for the sort of Filoni era of Lucasfilm,
I agree.
with him at the helm, right? It is a good, like, okay, here's the first, obviously he's been working on this for a couple of years, or the team has. Um, but here's something that we know is very much near and dear to his heart. That is one of the first things released under his, I guess, has he officially taken the role yet? I guess not,
Yes,
but
yeah, I think it was when
has
they
he?
announced it, he was kind of already in it,
Okay.
and so, I mean, like, obviously, it takes a couple years for these things to get made.
Yeah, yeah, of course. So it's been in the pipeline for quite some time,
It
but
is, but I think he had, like, creative control in the pipeline here,
yeah,
like, we're
yeah,
just
yeah.
here we are, we're going in, we're doing it, and, well, I did it was that interview with Sam Witwer that I watched where he talked about how, Dave wasn't really show running, like, he was doing,
Yeah.
a bunch of other things and whatever else, so but he would come in and be like, "Everyone, this is great. Make it bigger, make it better. This is what we're gonna do. Try this, do this," and he just kept pushing
Mhm.
different ways
You
to
know
build
what?
it out.
He's the George now. That's what
Yes.
George Lucas was doing in Clone Wars. Like, he would come to those meetings and be like, "Make this bigger, make this faster, more intense, whatever."
Mhm.
And, and then Dave and the team would go off and do it. And, like, now the learner has become the master, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, but I mean, which is, awesome for him. I mean, we knew that he would get there. I
Yeah.
mean, he's been
Yeah.
there for so long, but, like, I have gone on the record saying that I like Clone Wars, I don't love it, I
Mhm.
like
Same, same.
Rebels, I don't love it. This, I love.
I
Like
love this.
and truthfully, Maul has never been, like, my guy, I've never
No, me neither.
I
I mean, like, in Phantom Menace, like, I was like,
of course.
I was a
Yep,
10-year-old boy, I was all about it, but, like, um, but yeah, like, beyond that, like, yeah, no, it hasn't been, like some people like, sort of idolize him to the level of, like, Boba Fett, kinda,
sure.
that level of which also I was not. I was
Same.
sorta like, "Hi
Yeah.
him?" I mean, like, he's cool, sure,
He
but
looks
him?
cool. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like, the lore that's sort of built up around something like that, um, I was not that kid either for Maul.
Right, but
Didn't have a Maul lunchbox, you know what I mean?
no, exactly. I like and I think but this show gave me what it gave me what I think everybody else has been saying, where I kinda go, "I see now. I
Yeah,
see why this character is so attractive to you." And maybe it's attractive to you for completely different reasons than me, but at
sure.
least we can agree that he is a character worth putting on a pedestal, a
Mm.
bit like leveling off, no different than, like, how we would put Vader or Luke or Obi-Wan or Padme or whatever, like,
Yeah.
here are these dimensional characters, let's throw them up here and
Examining that character under,
yeah,
a
as opposed
magnifying
to it
glass.
just being a cool looking character that dies early on.
Exactly.
No, worth it. I mean, obviously, Dave saw that very early, and he loves Maul, clearly,
Mhm.
we're all better for it, apparently.
Yeah, agreed, yeah,
Yeah,
and, like, Dave has been responsible for filling in so much of Maul's, like, timeline, right? Like, he's gone to different eras of his timeline and filled them all in, sort of like it's like his personal mission to tell that story and wherever he needs to do it, in whatever show he needs to do it, and at a certain point, it's like, "Fine, I'll give him his own show and finish it there."
yep. Did
Yeah.
you know actually, this is fun. Did you know that Sam Witwer did he played Maul, but he also did Savage and Darth Sidious in the
Yes.
flashback? I just think that's awesome.
It's so cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
because he did Sidious in the, uh, Force Unleashed? Was that the game?
yes. Mhm.
He was the voice of the main character,
Yes, he
in
was.
that
Yeah, he
game,
did
but
the
then he
mocap and all
Yep,
the
exactly, exactly, but
Star
he
uh,
did Sidious for that too.
something Star Killer.
Yeah. Stark I think it was just Starkiller, wasn't it?
Or was it just Star Killer?
I think
Oh,
it might have
okay.
been
Yeah,
just Starkiller for that one, yeah.
yeah. Oh, man, good
But
times.
you're thinking of Deke Starkiller, which was the name from the
Yeah,
original
that's it.
script. Yeah.
Original Luke Skywalker.
Yep.
Man, what a time. Glad that was not how that turned out.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. Well, one thing I wanna leave with Vader's appearance, in, episode 9 and then, and everything in episode 10 with him not saying anything.
Mhm.
Would you have liked him to say something?
I expected him to say something, and I was thinking about, like, "Oh, wow, first time we're seeing Darth Vader since the passing of James Earl Jones,
Mhm.
will they use the AI thing that he gave them the rights to?"
Yep.
Was sort of waiting for that, and then he didn't say anything, which was, kinda like it was impactful in for him, he doesn't need to say less is more.
Mhm.
Um, so it was impactful in that way, but I was expecting him to say something, yeah.
Yeah. I thought him not saying anything was a great way to taunt Maul, who's very talkative. Um
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just for him to be like, "Who are you? You're not like" and he's like, I'm
Mm.
not even gonna do this with a response because I don't care. Like,
Mhm.
I just don't care about you."
Mhm, mhm.
But as far as the animation is concerned, I just wanna say that I think it Darth Vader's movements are very hindered, right? As we know, like,
Yes.
watch A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back and whatever, like, just because the suit was, very constricting. But it's incredible that they were able to turn something that where, like, he could barely move into choreography that amounts to him being a powerhouse that he doesn't even have to move, and that's
Mhm.
why he doesn't.
Mhm.
Just amazing. It, like, reframes how I, like, think about the fight in Empire Strikes Back a little bit, you
Yeah.
know? 'cause he's like, "I don't have to do anything."
Mhm,
Like,
mhm.
he one hands Luke the entire time. He's
Right, right, right,
whatever. And it's only when Luke actually is like continues to survive that he's like, "All right,
right.
2 hands."
Right.
I'll use 2 hands. And he actually, like, almost, like, struggles by the end, like, Luke gets a hit in, which
Of
is,
course, yeah.
incredibly hard, and, and Luke's obviously so strong in the Force that, like, this is basically the only reason he can survive, slash Vader lets him live because, he wants to have the daddy-son talk,
Sure.
but I liked him not speaking, but it did occur to me while I was watching, I was like, "Does he not speak because it's painful?" I think I put this in our
Yeah, yeah,
group
you meant yeah.
text, like, but I'll put this out in the podcast that, like, Vader obviously slows down as the years go on because of his extensive injuries, and so he's just but, like, moving around and lumbering, it can't be comfortable, plus the fighting, which, despite him, like, be almost like being like, "This is all beneath me," he still has to exert some kind of energy to fight Jedi, a Padawan, and Maul. So, um, so I think, like, in some ways, speaking is like that's just a little too much for me. So I'm going to use it to
Mhm.
my advantage in that, like, it's going to look like I am super awesome and not talking to you, but I'm actually maybe a little tired,
Mm.
and and I don't want to exert the energy that it takes in order to get this out there because he becomes less and less effective as he ages up.
Yeah, I had never thought about that before you said that in a text the other night, and um
He's got the black lung, like, that can't be good for speaking, you know?
sure. Yeah, yeah. I love this headcanon. Yep,
I love a
yep.
good headcanon, Frank.
I love a good headcanon, man. Yeah,
Headcanon.
absolutely.
So
It's fun. It's fun for me to have my own headcanon and be like, I because this thing is happening.
mhm. It just makes like you said, it lets you fill in the gaps, like Star Wars lets you
Yeah,
fill in the gaps,
yeah.
which is one of the joys of Star Wars, filling in the
Mhm.
gaps, and, this show does that well, but, a lot of Star Wars does that really well, but it is what is so fun about being a fan,
Yes. Yes, yes,
imagining
yes.
the stuff on the side. It's
Mhm.
great, yeah. Frank, what else is great? Where people can find us.
Yeah, you can head on over to beerwithgeeks.com and, check out, gosh, everything we've said about Star Wars in the 35 years we've been doing this show. And, you can also head over to Apple Podcasts or, Spotify or YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts and find Beer with Geeks there. You can rate and review us there. You can subscribe and like and, follow and everything else. And, I said rate and review. Yeah. So please and tell a friend.
Please, please tell all your friends.
Tell
Tell
all your friends.
that Lord, Maul Shao, Lord the Shadow Monster. What is this show called? We've been doing this for so
Shadow Monster, that's it.
yeah, Lord the Shadow Monster. That's the one. It's a
Mm,
great show. It's
yeah.
really tremendous. Couldn't ask for a better Star Wars show. Maul Shadow Lord. Good stuff. Is he the Shadow Lord? Is Vader the Shadow Lord? Just putting that out there.
Daki called Maul the Shadow Lord at one point.
He did. Not knowing that the Inquisitors answered to a different Shadow Lord.
This is true.
Because he's a lord without a kingdom. Just putting that out there.
True.
Yeah.
So I guess then Vader was
The real Phantom Menace. No.
but I guess he was in that hologram when we saw
Yep.
the Inquisitor. Yeah, because I was convinced it was Sidious.
That's what I thought too. Because actually it's funny because when I knew Sam Witwer did the voice, I was like, "Oh, well," or Sam Witwer does a great Palpatine, so he'll probably just do Palpatine
Right.
when we see him. But we did not see him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, truthfully, I'll take Vader over Palpatine.
I
So
mean, yeah. And we got Palpatine in flashback, so good enough.
excellent. So good. Frank, it was great to talk to you as always. Until next time, cheers.
Cheers. Happy Revenge of the Sixth.